Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Alhamdulillahirabbil alamin wa bihi nasta'inu ala umuri dunya waddin. Shalatu wassalamu ala asrofil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajmain. Before I'm doing presentation, let me introduce myself. My name is Afandi. I am a student of program of Master of Educational in General Education, Universal Institute of Professional Management, UIPM, number student MED, strip 2003, strip 5676542. I'm grateful on the grace of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, the most merciful and most merciful God, and enjoyment healthy, knowledge, mercy, sustain, forgiveness, and the voice of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And all the praise for Allah who gives me the chance to come here. Salawat and salam I said to our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, his family, his best friend, and to us as his follower until the end of the day. Finally, I'm going to do presentation my writing in thesis by the title of the effort to increase absorption of SMK's graduates in Indramayu district. It submitted to fulfill requirement to chief program of Master of Educational in General Education by number of student MED 2003 strip 5676542. The first I want to say my honorable to Professor Dr. Rantastia Nur Alangan, the CEO of Universal Institute of Professional Management, UIPM. The second, I want to say my honorable to Dr. Muhammad Soleh Ridwan, PhD, as Director Program Universal Institute of Professional Management, UIPM. Let's go with abstract. SMK is favorite school for the community to send their children to school with the hope that once that graduate, it will be easier to get a job, because there are more and graduate can easily job, such as the slogan of SMKs and government program and public trust. In the appendix of chapter 2, it is stated that the government assistance program for the development for industry-based vocational high school 4.0 aims to A. Improve the quality of learning in SMK through the provision of infrastructure assistance to produce qualified SMK graduate in accordance with the standard need of the working field or the industrial field. B. Building a new image of SMK by creating a quality vocational practice learning process so that it can become a driving school for the development of other SMK. C. Providing provision for SMK's students to have expertise based on Industry 4.0. And my forward begin thank God for all the blessing for Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. We also don't forget to pray and greet to Lord of the great Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and his family, friend, all his people who always istiqomah until the end of the time, so that we can complete the preparation thesis with the title of the effort to increase absorption of SMK's graduate in Indramayu district. Just in time, before discussing education, it means very important to study about absorption of SMK graduate in school, and it is linking with the curriculum and education. People have to understand about the effort to increase the absorption of SMK's graduate in Indramayu district. It is always be an interesting topic to be discussed. The effort to increase absorption of SMK's graduate in Indramayu district. has a definition as a method which describes about how people doing of education and learning process. We have complied this English thesis to fulfill the duties of the supervisor of the effort to increase the absorption of SMK's graduate in Indramayu district. The author realized that this thesis is far from perfect. Therefore, the author really needs criticism and suggestion from reader for perfection in the future. Finally, the author does not forget to thank all parties involved in the preparation of this thesis, either directly or indirectly. Hopefully, the thesis that we have complied be useful. Indramayu, October 2000 and 2024. Let's start with table content. In table content, the first abstract, then forward table of content, and chapter 1, introduction, A, background, formulation of the problem, purpose and benefits in point C, and D, systematic organization of writing. In chapter 2, theoretical overview, A, vocational high school graduate, B, the absorption graduate vocational high school, and C, the factor influence the absorption graduate, and D, effort increase graduate employability, and the last E, the relevancy of the research. In chapter 3, put a method of teaching, A, method of research, and B, place of research. And in chapter 4, the result of the research and discussion. A, the objective research profile. B, government program in increasing the absorption of vocational school graduation. And the last C, specialist employment exchange. And the thesis will be end with chapter 5 closing. A, closing, and B, suggestion. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go with chapter 1, introduction. A, background of the problem. Learning is mind spirit in the educational process. Continuous quality learning can explore the potential possessed by individual each stage of learning at various levels of education, from primary, secondary to higher education. Has its own strategies and achievement target that lead to the realization of superior individual to able to lead the same achievement target. In other words, to equalize the perception of achievement of learning outcomes, it necessary to design ability qualification standard at each level so that development of individual abilities can be measured. The Ministry of Education, Culture, Research and Technology has taken an important role in the preparation of this ability qualification standard. Graded competency standards that are derived based on the social need of the community, the working field and an industrial field become relevant product and become a reference in designing learning outcome target. Thus, it is indirectly implied that education is classified in two categories, namely general education and vocational education. The National Education System Law number 2003, Article 15 states that vocational secondary education aims to prepare students primarily to work in particular field. These objectives are further elaborated by the Directorate of Vocational Secondary Education 2003. Into general and specific objectives, the general objective as part of the vocational secondary education SMK system are: the first, prepare learner to be able to lead a decent life, and the second, increase the faith and piety of learner, and three, prepare learner to become independent and responsibility citizen. The fourth, prepare learner to understand and appreciate the culture diversity of the Indonesian nation. And the last fifth, prepare learner to apply and maintain a healthy life, have an environmental insight, knowledge, and art. David H. Meister, 1998, colon 56, says that professional people are people who are relied upon and trusted because they are expert skill, have knowledge, are responsibility, diligent, discipline, serious, and carrying out their work duties. Learning program that support this readiness can be strong driving force for SMKs in creating quality graduate. Moreover, when the program that is launched really refer to the formation of professional workforce criteria, the chance will be very large to achieve success. The ability program both hard and soft skill, which lead to the criteria of expert, skill, knowledge, responsible, diligent, discipline, and serious in carrying out their work. And then carrying out their work duties increase to confidence of students to compete in every selection of prospective workers by a company. Similar skill are also an important asset for SMK's graduate to compete in university entrance selection. Vocational High School is favorite school for the community to send their children to school with the hope that once they graduate, it will be easier to get a job. Because there are more and more SMK graduates, researchers are interested and want to examine whether SMK graduate can easily get a job, like the slogan of SMK and government program and public trust. For this reason, the researcher made a thesis about SMK graduate and absorption with the title thesis, effort to increase absorption of SMK graduate in Indramayu regions. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue with B, formulation of the problem. Based on the explanation above, the relevant problems are formulated as follows. The first, what is level absorption of SMK graduate in Indramayu regions? Second, what is government contribution in helping SMK improve the absorption of graduate, especially those that have an impact on SMK in Indramayu regions? What are the efforts to increase the absorption of graduate made by SMK in Indramayu regions? And I make in point C, limitation of the problem. In order to arrive the specified research objective and focus on the result of the research, it is necessary to limit the problem presented as follows. The first, the absorption of graduate in reviewed based on data from the tracking of graduate for the last 3 years. The tracking data is concentrated of the number graduates who are accepted to work in industry, to be entrepreneurship, and continuing their children to higher education. And the second, the government contribution to the program to improve the absorption of graduate in represented by regulation or policies set by relevant interested institutions. Third, effort to increase the absorption of graduate by SMKs refer to relevant program that support the achievement of the absorption rate. And point D, the purpose of the problem. Referring to the formulation of the problem that has been set, the objective of this study include 1. To describe the level of absorption of SMK grade in Indramayu regions, and the second, to identify the government effort in helping to improve the absorption of SMK graduates, especially in Indramayu regions. And 3, the last, to describe the concerted effort made by SMK in Indramayu in improving the absorption of their graduate. And in point E, I'm right about this research was carried out based on scientific procedures, so that the result of this research can be used as the first, a reference for SMK to design program to improve absorption of graduate, strategic and procedural steps in improving the absorption of graduate are certainly designed by considering various relevant aspects. So that every policy and decision making in the implementation process will determine intensively, accountability and effectively. And the second, an overview for interested parties regarding the factors that are taken into consideration in designing strategies and policies to increase the absorption of SMK's graduate, so that the problem that arise in the process can be solved wisely through a comprehensive perspective. And the third, reference for the research related to variable examined. F, in point F, research outlook. The result of this study have prospect for further development in formulating appropriate strategies in increasing the absorption of SMK's graduate based on the finding of several influencing factors. Further, research can be conducted to find other factors that influence the absorption of graduate, as well as the impact of increasing the absorption of graduate, especially in vocational high school. Okay, let me go with chapter 2, theoretical overview. Point A, vocational high school graduate SMKs. Irwanto 2015 defined SMKs as a secondary education and formal education pathway of the pathway of the education unit system in Indonesia. Firdaus 2012:398 assert that vocational high school is substantially one of the vocational education institutions organized to prepare prospective middle class worker to enter work field and develop professional attitude. In line with this view, Clark and Wins 2007 argued that vocational education is confined to preparing young people and adults for working life, a process often regarded as a rather technical and practical nature. This opinion describes that SMK is part of the formal education system at the secondary level, which tends to prepare students to become prospective professional workers. Professional in the sense of meeting the work criteria standardized by the working field and industry in a particular field as stated in National Education Law number 20 of 2003, Article 15 state the vocational secondary education aim to prepare children primarily to work in certain fields. Parliament Saragi 2009 colon 27 up to 28 state that the requirement for vocational students to be declared a graduate will be proven by one of the following document. The first, vocational high school certificate explaining that the graduate has completed the study period at SMK issued by Ministry of National Education and signed by the head of SMA concerned. The second, National Examination Result Certificate SKHUN explaining the detail of the score obtained by graduate and explaining that graduates have passed the national examination and the expertise competency test. The third, SMK Learning Outcome Report Book or report. As a report during the graduate education at SMK. And the fourth, transcripts of value, explaining the detail of the grade obtained by students for all subjects taught while studying at SMK and explaining the sub-competency that had been mastered. And the fifth, certificate of competency, explaining that graduates have passed the competency test. The competency test is carried out at school or industry field, and the final assessment is determined by industry field. This certificate is issued by the relevant SMK and signed by the head of the SMK and the examining industry. The last, sixth, certificate of industrial on the job training or OGT certificate or dual system education. It is explaining that graduates have completed on the job training in the relevant working field and industry field. The certificate is issued by the industrial field where students carry out OGT or related industry. And B point or in point B, the absorption graduate vocational high school SMK. Vocational education is considered successful if SMK has a good absorption system for graduate. It is characterized by the skill of school graduate that attract the attention of industry. Indeed, vocational high school or SMK have a close relationship with the work field or the industry field as emphasized by the government in explanation government regulation number 29 of 1992, article 29 paragraph 1 as follows: the cooperation between vocational high school or SMK and the working field is intended to jointly utilize the facilities and infrastructure available to both parties and to better ensure the suitability of the curriculum with the demand of the available field. Sudira 2007 explained that the absorption of graduates in the industrial field is one indicator of the success of vocational education. The absorption rate of SMK graduates show the success of the school, especially in preparing to continuing their education, work, and entrepreneurship. As stated by Rojaki et al. 2021 that in Indonesia, the success of vocational education, especially SMKs, is measured by the number graduate who can work in Dudika or work field or become independent entrepreneur. So that the absorption of SMK graduate can be defined as the absorption of SMK's students who have undergone that learning process within a certain period of time, either in the working field, the industrial field, or continuing their education to higher level. The success of SMK graduate after undergoing the learning process to review from the first graduate work according to their field of expertise, and the second, the grace period of graduate to get job after graduation is maximum of 1 year. And the third, absorption of graduate into year period after graduation is at least 75%. And the last, for the number of graduates who are able to create job in 5% Ministry of Education 2003:3. Based on this benchmark in this study, the indicator of the absorption of SMK grade will be reviewed from the number of those absorbed in working field industry, continuing their study to higher level and entrepreneurship. The data will be analyzed quantitatively to obtain the further description of condition of the absorption of SMK graduate in Indramayu region. Let's next with point C, the factor which influence the absorption graduate. Some of the results of the analysis conducted by researchers show a variety of factors that affect the absorption of graduate. Broadly speaking, these factors are classified in two categories, namely supporting factor and inhibiting factor. As stated by Rukmana 2021, that the factor that influence the absorption of SMK graduate are divided into namely supporting factor, the existence of a special job exchange program, and the second, cooperation of vocational school with the work field industry, and competency of graduate that support the type of work, and support from family, and the last, advance in information technology that help in finding job vacancy, and the second, inhibiting factor. Not all students are interested in working after graduation. The number of job vacancy is not proportional to the number of job seeker, and then job vacancy information is often unclear, and the next, age and experience are not favorable, and then lack of relationship or connection, and the last, lack of preparation when going to carry out interview selection. Based on several views and the result of the analysis, the factor that influence the absorption of SMK graduate can be categorized into, namely internal and external factors. Internal factors are classified into part: personal factor of graduate and factor of SMK as a place where graduate study from the personal side of graduate. What determine absorption is interest in motivation to work competence, skill, family support, while from the SMK side, factor that need attention are graduate marketing facilities such as the Special Employment Exchange or BKK, cooperation with the working field, industrial field, access to information through the use of developing technology and graduate quality improvement program. Meanwhile, external factors tend to be the potential of the working field industry that can affect the absorption of graduates. The factors in question include wage, production value, investment value, type of work, and work environment. And point D, effort to increase graduate employability. Indramayu, 1999, 568 explain that effort in the force to achieve a purpose, solve problem, solution effort. Effort is a person effort in carrying out activity to realize his goal or the purpose of what he does. Effort is a dynamic in its position, constantly evolving based on the result it obtained. Pilet 2011 argues that vocational education is education the aim to produce graduates who are ready to work in certain relevant field of expertise. Meanwhile, the specific objective of vocational school outlined by the Directorate of Vocational Secondary Education 2003, namely, prepare students to able to work either independently or fill in exciting job in the work field and industry as middle level worker in accordance with the field and expertise program of interest. The second, equip students to be able to choose a career, be resilient and persistent in competing, and be able to develop a professional attitude in the field expertise of interest. And the three, equipping students with science and technology effect to able to develop themselves through higher education. The noble goal mentioned above are the main basis for designing ideas to improve the quality graduates so that SMK output can be maximally absorbed into the industry, word or universities. Because Sudira 2007 indicate that the absorption of graduates in the industrial field is one indicator of the success of vocational education. Any program launched to create quality graduate will show its benefit when migrate are absorbed into the work field or industry, as well as those who continue their education to higher level, effort to improve the absorption of graduate through the preparation of students to become professional. Worker and have high intellectuality based on the objective of vocational education as described by Bilet and the Directorate of Vocational Secondary School or Secondary Education are required to be the responsibility of the government, with especially pinned on the Ministry of Education. However, the Ministry of Education cannot work alone, as the spread head relevant educational institution, in this case schools, are needed as an extension, so that the ministry can focus on designing innovative program to create quality graduate in accordance with the needs of the working field or the industrial field and higher education, while the implementer of the program is the school. School that can elaborate carefully and strategically on the program of the Ministry of Education will be able to create quality graduates who are ready to compete to meet the challenges of life and the time. When considering that the provision of education in vocational school is not only dominated by public school but also by the active participation of the private sector. There will be a lot of support to help quality graduate so as to encourage the level of absorption of SMK graduate. Based on this thought, this study will use the indicator that underline effort to increase the absorption of SMK graduate, namely effort made by government and school. Information and now information and knowledge continue to develop to emergence of theories can be caused by research has been done before. Some previous research result had relevant to research plan be carried out, as has been carried out by Rio Kurniawan et al. 2021. With the result of the analysis showing that the level of absorption of vocational graduates in light vehicle engineering and motorcycle engineering and business major is low. Therefore, it is recommended that various effort to revitalize vocational education must be finalized again. The link and match program between SMK and the industrial field need to intensify to align the competencies taught with the competency need of the industrial field so the absorption of graduate can be improved. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go in chapter 3, method of research. In point A, I'm writing about method of the research. In this research, the method used is qualitative research method because the purpose of this research is more to explore information as holistically as possible about the effort made by the government and educational institution. And government institution, in this case SMK, to improve absorption their graduate designed refer to the opinion of Bogdan and Taylor in Moleng 2014. Column 4, who describe qualitative method as research procedure to procedure descriptive data in form of written or spoken word from people and observable behavior. Moleng 2014, column 6, himself conclude qualitative research as research that intend to understand phenomena about what is experiences by research subject holistically and by means of description in special natural context and by utilizing various scientific methods. Meanwhile, Sugiono 2017, column 13 up to 14, define qualitative research method as research method based on the philosophy of post-positivism used to research or on natural object condition, where the researcher is the key instrument. Data collection techniques are triangulated, combined data analysis in inductive, qualitative, and the research result emphasize meaning rather than generalization, and B, place and researcher informant. This study was conducted to describe the effort made by vocational high school SMKs in Indramayu regions to improve the absorption of their graduate based on data from Central Bureau of Statistics BPS of West Java Province. Indramayu region can be categorized as one of the vocational area considering the large number of vocational schools in it. The research location determined is a vocational school located in Indramayu region. According to Sugiono 2017:399, the research location is the place where social situation will be studied until 2022. The number of SMK spread across several sub-districts in Indramayu regions with a quite extensive geographical condition, both public and private, is 138 schools. This number is not much different from the current number of the other on the other hand, with its limitation, it's not possible for researchers make all SMKs a place to obtain research data. Therefore, researchers use purposive sampling technique to facilitate data acquisition as stated by Sugiono 2017:101. The purpose sampling techniques are often used in qualitative research. Purposive sampling is technique of sampling data sourced with certain consideration. The researcher decided to make 3 SMK representing the Eastern, Central, and Western regional of Indramayu regions as data sources because the number of grade 12 students is quite high. So it is interesting explore further how to manage the graded the 3 SMKR. Let's look at the table that list of vocational school research data sources for SMK N 1 kerangkeng or SMKN 1 kerangkeng contain all of students for 10, 12, 11 and 12 grade about 1,305 students. SMK Negeri 1 Indramayu, all of students total 1,603 students. And the last SMK Muhammadiyah Kandang Haur have all total student is 1,576. Okay, let's we talk about the table resources and several information to obtain information from 3 vocational school Mulung 2014:132 say that information are individual or people who are used to provide information about the situation of condition of researching setting. The informant are teacher, BP, BK teacher, deputy principal, and the principal. And C, research instrument. Sugiono 2017:305 up to 306 emphasize that in qualitative research, the research instrument is the researcher himself. Qualitative researcher as human instrument function to determine the focus of research, select informant as data sources, conduct data collection, assess data quality, analyze data, interpret data, and make conclusion on their finding. And point D, data collection technique. Taking into account objective of the research and also the existence of significant information, the data collection technique used include interview, document and recording, questionnaires, and let's enter with point A, analysis data technique. Qualitative data analysis according to Bogdan and Bigland in Moline 2014 248 is an effort made by working with data, organizing data, sorting into manageable unit, synthesizing it, looking for and finding pattern, finding what is important and what is learned, and deciding what can be taught to others. In this research, the data analysis model that will be used is the fixed comparison method mulai 2014 188 explained that in the fixed comparison method, in data analysis, constantly comparing one datum with another datum, and the constantly comparing categories with other categories. The data analysis processing using the fixed comparison method include data reduction, unit identification, make coding, and the two, categorization. The one, rearrange category, B, labeling its category, and then synthesize, A, finding the linkage of its category, labeling its category with another category, A, developing a working hypothesis. And let's go, we talk about point F. It is talking about data validity testing pen. Sugiono 2017 163 emphasize that in qualitative research, finding or data can be declared valid if there is no difference between, if there is no difference between what the researcher report and what actually happened to object understanding. Moline 2014 column 324 and 326. To determine the validity, trustworthiness of data record inspection technique, there are four criteria used, namely credibility, transferability, dependability, and conformability. Ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about chapter 4. It is talking about the result of the research and discussion. A. The objective of research profile SMK Negeri 1 Kerangkeng, and then SMK Muhammadiyah Kandang Haur, and SMK 1 Indramayu. SMK Negeri 1 Kerangkeng profile in 2003 in Indramayu government through in education office proposed the establishment of several vocational high school. SMK Negeri 1 Kerangkeng, or commonly called SMK Smaker, is one of the state vocational school in Kerangkeng District, Indramayu. This is SMK is located Jalan Raya Singakerta, Kerangkeng, Indramayu. And SMK Negeri 1 Kerangkeng already has 5 expertise competencies with more than 1,200 children. And the 5 expertise competence of teknik kendaraan ringan or TKR, teknik komputer jaringan, teknik instalasi tenaga listrik, teknik elektronika industri, and multimedia. And the second SMK Negeri 1 Indramayu profile. It should be not for the forerunner of SMK Negeri 1 Indramayu has actually excited since September 1, 1964. The vision of SMK's Negeri 1 Indramayu, I want to mention just one, religious, superiors, culturous, and productive. We talk about SMK's Muhammadiyah Kandang Haur. SMK's Muhammadiyah Kandang Haur profile. SMK Muhammadiyah is vocational school located in Karanganyar Highway number 28 Kandang Haur, sub-district Indramayu. This SMK Muhammadiyah Kandang was established in 1997 and currently has a total of children 1,691 students. The number of teaching staff is 104 teachers and has 6 expertise competency, namely TK, KSR, TPL, TEI, TKG, TBSM, and pharmacy. SMK Muhammadiyah Kandang Haur has a vision and mission. Vision of SMK Muhammadiyah Kandang Haur moving forward to be at the forefront. And then let's talk about SMK Muhammadiyah Kandang Haur have developing science and mastery of technology based on the interest, talent, potential of children in the school and community and environmental. That is one of mission of SMK Muhammadiyah Kandang Haur. And the second, improve the quality graduate for work, entrepreneurship, and continuing higher education. And the third, practicing religious values in daily life at school, family, and community, and etc. Let's go we talk about next chapter. What is next chapter? Next chapter is about conclusion and suggestion. Ladies and gentlemen, in terms of the process, the good thing that can be done include how the school effort in preparing its student to able to compete in the selection of prospective worker organized by the company, ready in the sense that students have good reasoning power, analysis of contextual problem, and good personality or character, so that they can become professional prospective worker. Furthermore, the specific objective of vocational school are: the first, prepare students to able to work either independently or field job in the working field and industry as middle level worker in accordance with the field and expertise program of their interests. The second, youth students to able to choose a career, be resilient and persistent in competing, and be able to develop a professional attitude in the field of expertise of interest, and the 3, equipping students with science and technology aptitude to be able to develop themselves. And if I explain about the conclusion, so can spend many time. Let's conclusion. Suggestion. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, finally, the researcher gives suggestion to all the people based on the result of the research. There are some suggestions for the next research who are interested in doing similar research. This research will give the contribution to comprehend the effort to increase the absorption graduate in Indramayu district. Hopefully, the research give inspiration and guidance for further researchers to be better in doing research. So that result is being better than this research. And then thesis of the effort to increase the absorption graduate in Indramayu district could be good references to use for observing the success of classroom and management in education. For the student university who want to know more about the effort to increase the absorption graduate in Indramayu district, they could be this thesis as the guidance for them to know more about absorption graduation in Indramayu district. Meanwhile, in addition, this thesis is also improve perception and knowledge about the effort to increase absorption graduate in Indramayu district. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think enough for my presentation, and I hope to the all people can know what is that all for me. Apologies if I make many mistakes. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.